All right, let's play the video, I guess. There's so much to discuss with that video, to unpack in general. There's so many receipts in that video alone. You know what I mean? Because, all right, it's such oh my God, where is it? Hold on. Come on, man. My computer's slow. All right, it's open. Why is it taking so long? Okay. Let's start playing the video.
In this special nighttime episode, we resume the madcap comedy mystery series called Comer's High Crimes and Misadventures, the hilarious quest to impeach a president who has done nothing wrong, an avowedly low-budget but multi-million-dollar taxpayer-funded production which most Americans assumed had ended 2 months ago and had completely forgotten about. But
isn't it funny, though, how Republicans, how they love to say, Donald Trump did nothing wrong, or who's that other one? Roger Stone did nothing wrong. They actually sell merchandise with that statement on it. Meaning, of course, they did everything wrong. They're traitors. Roger Stone is a traitor. So is Paul Manafort. That's somebody who Trump is bringing back into his campaign because they're all traitors. You understand? I wish I was wrong here because they really don't want a government that works for all. And why? Because, I mean, it's simple as the Occam's razor. They hate sharing civilization with others, no matter what that other, of course, it's black people. They don't like brown people, black people, anyone with darker pigment. And they don't like anybody who isn't them. It's fascinating to me, but all right, well, let's continue.
Tonight, with the cast and crew now fresh back from a surprise.
You mean
trip
like
to
the
New York
January
City.
6th committee?
The January, look, she
Stop
has no ability to control herself, like a child. You know how children are. When I was a child, I had a lot less self-control. I would just blurt things out, right, and not really understand all the consequences. That's why children aren't allowed to do things. They can't form contracts. They can't sign documents. They can't, do certain jobs. Well, they shouldn't be working until the age of 16 in some places, but whatever. They, give Republicans time. They're working on it. But we don't allow children they're not fully actualized people yet. They're not adults. This is why, there are consequences. You can't have it like for people who are sexually attracted to children, let's say, right? You can't go in a relationship with a child because they don't have the full autonomy. They don't know, they can't make these decisions. And so it's a crime, no matter what people say. I'm only thinking about all those videos that I watch about. There's so many people out there, men in particular, who want to meet up with underage people. Why am I going down this road? It's one of my, I watch that on YouTube a lot, where they whatever, you know what I'm saying. I think they've actually cracked down on it. It's like the Chris Hansen thing, whatever. The point is that this is why Republicans, they really have, they lack the fundamental maturity. It's not why, it is what it is. This is who they are. And whoever votes for these people to send them to Congress to represent them, you should be embarrassed by what you have done, not just to yourself, but to this country. What a disgrace. And Marjorie Taylor Greene she's the poster child. So is Jim Jordan and half of these others, the kooks. But they really are the poster children for gerrymandering, doing away with the corrupt system that allows horrible people to be as disgusting as they are and face no consequences. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's in an incredibly gerrymandered district. So only the real bottom feeders, I was going to say Neanderthals, but really to call them Neanderthal would be to give them a promotion on the evolutionary tree. I don't know what. Have they learned to walk upright? Not maybe physically, maybe superficially, but certainly not morally or spiritually. God knows, sexually, forget it.
Time restored to me, Mr. Chairman.
Order. Chair recognizes ranking member.
Okay. Different congressional investigations and inquiries.
I mean, Comer is such a clown.
The lady from Georgia, because he issued.
I just want to hear Joe Biden. Why can't the American people hear him?
Order, Mr. Chairman.
Why does she have the most annoying rake on a chalkboard voice?
Get her under control.
American people. She always talks about the American people. Meanwhile, she represents, like, how many American peoples? Not many. More American people are disgusted with her. More American, and this is another thing what they were going on about when they were playing this clip on the corporate media, saying how, oh, this is why Americans turn away from politics, why they hate and as if it's that's some kind of rational response. The fact that you've turned away from this is why these Republicans have been allowed to run rampant over our system. Oh, I don't pay attention to politics. Well, shame on you, because this is what you got. Oh, they all suck. It's both bullshit. It's not the truth. Yeah, the system has a problem. We have, and I can diagnose it, and I know we talk about it all the time, what we can do to fix it. First, we got to get these scummy, bottom crawlers out of the way. The people who are just there for what? They're not there to help the American people, because they could give a shit about the American people. They wouldn't pull a hair for the American people, and they don't. And I'm not just saying it. They look at the fact that they're in the process of trying to shove this con man back into the Oval Office. They know who he is. That everyone who worked for him knows who he is. Everyone who worked for him knows he sucks. Anyone with any legitimacy or any ounce of patriotism, they know that he is absolutely and completely unfit for office, that he only gives a shit about himself. He never spent a day on the American people. And they want to put this person back in the Oval Office, who left the Oval Office, slunked away like a disgusting child who was upset because he didn't get what he wanted, and his mommy never taught him any better how to behave, how to be gracious when you lose, not just when you win. Like, this is who they are. They're not even gracious winners, much less losers. Are you kidding me? And he skulked out of the White House, but leaving 1 million corpses in his wake. So how do you put anybody, like everything else that he did that sucked, and we can go through it. Imagine and remember the horror of those years, watching this con man disgrace us. Going to the 75th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. What a disgrace to send this draft-dodging con man there, who's with a backdrop of headstones of actual patriots who stormed the beaches of Normandy to stop a dictator like he wants to be, like a fascist like he is. And in front of that backdrop of headstones, he talks about nervous Nancy. What a child. Disgusting. If a child acted like that, they would be corrected. But what do the Republicans do? They can't help themselves, tripping over themselves to go rushing to this con man's defense because they're upset that, well, the con man's upset because his cult isn't standing outside the courtroom. There's a few, some real kooks are out there, and they're getting some airplay. I mean, they are the real, dead enders. And there's not many. There might be 5 of them, and they're wearing all kinds. They look ridiculous. They're wearing the Trump regalia, and it's pathetic. So these Republicans got to run up there and help their little fragile ego, wannabe dictator. They have to salve his ego and just debase themselves in the process, leaving Congress, this is the majority. Just leaving the work of the American. Well, what work? Well, we should count ourselves lucky. That's the other thing on the corporate media, because they keep saying how, well, when the Republicans are, what are they getting done? They're not getting anything done. We sent them there to get things done. God help us. Thank God they're not getting anything done. We should be grateful, because when Republicans get things done, we lose. The American people lose. That's the truth. Show me if there are any, dissenters out there. Show me. Give me an example of when the Republicans passed policy and the American people were better off for it. You can't, because they don't do anything for the American people. Oh, they passed a tax cut for 88% of which went to the top. They made the income disparity and upward immobility worse. Whenever they get their clutches on anything, they turn it into chaos. They don't add understanding or empathy or humanity or decency. They don't ever shine light on anything. They add confusion. They add chaos. They make people's lives harder. They add trauma upon trauma. That's what they do. Show me. Everything they do, they destroy. When we try to take these leaps forward, we try to make a more perfect union. We try to leave no one behind. We try to promote the general welfare. And there are the Republicans. If ever we do succeed in passing policy that the American people need, that actually address problems, that make things better, like the child tax credit, like, or the helping people, helping the student loan forgiveness, all this, Republicans stand in the way. They're right now trying to stop Medicaid and Medicare from negotiating drug prices. Can you believe that? So tell me again how Joe Biden's down in the polls. He's losing with, black and white hamsters now. I don't know, right? Guinea pigs. Ridiculous. Up in the polls, down in the... How is this even possible? You know how? I'm talking about how how is the con man in any way, shape, or form in the running? First of all, we know the polls are bullshit in a lot of ways, because every election, thankfully, in the past year or so, has, the polls have been wrong, and it's swung the way of the Democrats. Thank God. And I have a feeling, not that we're going to sit on our laurels, but it's gonna be the same when the but tell me, I'm telling you guys, they're fighting to. This is what Republicans do. They're trying to stop people from voting. This is what they do, because they're not a majority party. They can't run on policy.